Hey everyone, and welcome to this month's episode of the Keeling Homes series. Thank you so much for joining me. We are having a lot of fun with these series, and it's all thanks to you. So thank you so much for tuning in and your feedback and questions and making this a fun adventure for us. So my name is Brooke Keeling. If you haven't joined us in previous episodes, I am the team lead here and owner at Keeling Homes. And we started doing this Keeling Homes series to really educate consumers, give you guys a little bit more about the real estate market, behind the scenes of real estate. What are some of the common questions that we hear day to day, and making it more of a safe place for you to come and get some questions answered, reach out to us behind the scenes, see where you're at in the home process and what you can learn along the way, whether you're buying or you're selling. We are based here in Madison, Wisconsin, and I've been in the real estate industry now for 7 years. My team has consistently been in the top 1% of our marketplace over the last 4 years. So we do a lot of business here in the area. We help a lot of people, which is something that we really enjoy, and we pride ourselves in always staying educated, and that's exactly what we want to give back to you. So the purpose of today's episode, what we're talking about today, is buyer agency. So a lot of times we work with a lot of buyers in the market. We work with a lot of first-time home buyers. So what do you need to know? What is buyer agency? Have you heard of buyer agency before? Have you met with an agent, worked with an agent, and you haven't heard of buyer agency before? So I'm going to take you through the behind the scenes of buying a home, what buyer agency means. If you have questions, as always, feel free to type them in the comments below. We will get back to you. We have some fun competitions that we run during these episodes as well. So we have some gift certificates for $100 gift vouchers that we'll be drawing a name at the end of the series for any comments, likes, shares that you put in. You can find out more information in the comments below on how to get your name in that drawing for that $100 gift certificate to some of our favorite places around the Madison area. In addition, we are also giving away closing cost credit. So if you are in the market and you're watching this episode on the buyer agency, what buyer agency is, and you're looking for yourself, we are also offering $500 closing cost credit. So get your name in the comments below, and we will do a drawing here as well. So buyer agency, this topic, we talk about this day in and day out, as I'm sure you can imagine. And oftentimes, in today's market, it's such a different market because consumers are not coming to us because they need to have us help them find a home. So you as a consumer, if you're looking and you've been in the market, I'm sure you know what Zillow is, you know what realtor.com is, you know what Trulia is, you know what homes.com, all of these different consumer sites. You don't need an agent anymore to find you a home. Most of the time, a lot of times, you have a lot of that information at your fingertips. And so when we work with clients, there's a whole nother side of this, which there's a lot of value that we can offer even in today's market, even though you have these consumer sites. And they're great tools for us agents as well. And it's really great because buyers are more educated than ever now in the real estate market. And so what our job is as a buyer's agent is to be able to represent you in your best interest throughout the entire process. So I can tell you, there's a lot that can happen throughout the real estate transaction. And just today, we are working with a client that is purchasing a property and has different contingencies in place, contingencies that will protect that particular buyer throughout the transaction. And there's some major defects that came up in a home. And how do we proceed? How do we go from there? What are our options? Where is she protected? These things are really big deals so that you don't get into a property that all of a sudden there's some major issues or you weren't quite sure of, or the real estate market is so hot right now and the opportunity and different investment options and opportunities. Where are you protected so that you don't get into a position where you do have some regret, or you do have buyer remorse, or you've overpaid for a property, or you've waived contingencies and you don't know what your protection is there. So there's a lot of representation that as agents, you need someone that has that experience, especially in today's market. So although the consumer sites are wonderful and we work side by side with a lot of these consumer sites to help you as a consumer, if you're a consumer, find a property that you really love. But what you don't have there, if you don't have a buyer's agent or if you're working with a seller's agent, you don't have that representation. You don't have someone working in your best interest. So if you find a property online, you call up the listing agent, you are able to view a showing or you go to an open house and then you put in an offer with the seller's agent, that agent is representing the seller and the seller's best interest. And although they may present it as, we can save money or we can manage the entire transaction or whatever it may be, you as a buyer do not have buyer agency. You do not have someone working in your best interest unless you have a buyer agency contract with one specific agent. And it's crucial in today's market because it's a tough market, especially for buyers. The supply is very low, the demand is very high, so it creates this sense of urgency. And oftentimes, when you don't have that, you have to jump, you have to make really quick decisions. And so, in order to feel like you're making the best decision for your family, you really need to get yourself educated and you really need to know whomever it is that you're working with. You've talked to some agents, you trust them, you know that they're working on your behalf, and you have a buyer agency contract signed before you get into the details of negotiating an offer. It's so important, so important. But you also have to find someone that you really like and you know and you trust before you sign on with them. Now, look, the buyer agency, oftentimes we have a lot of questions about people think that it's going to cost them a lot of money, and that's not necessarily the case because the majority of the time, almost 99.9% of the time, the seller pays the commission. So for you to have your own dedicated agent working in your best interest, it's not costing you anything. So it's a win-win situation. It's just you getting more educated. It's you having someone on your side that's helping you work through one of the biggest transactions in your life, likely, and knowing that you're represented, you have someone working in your best interest, and you're doing all of the right things in the right order, and you're protected in today's market. So there's so many benefits to it. There's really not any negatives to it. You just need to do your homework and make sure that whomever it is that you're working with, you really do like them, you enjoy them. When we work with our buyers, it's a process. And it's a fun process. It's an emotional high when we work through the buying process, helping people find whether it's their first home, whether it's their retirement home, whether it's their home that they're upgrading to raise their family in, whatever it is. There's so many incredible emotions that come up with that, and we want to take the stress off of it so that you can enjoy all of the positive experience that you should feel when you're purchasing a home. I always say a home is more than a home for me. It's my life. It's what creates the happiness in my life. I'm a homebody. I'm an introvert. I love my home. I love design. I love all of that kind of stuff. So home is more than a home. It's a place to make memories and raise families, and whatever area and phase of your life, it's a fun process, and being able to feel like you're guided through that process and you're protected and you don't have to worry. Our hope is that we can do that for you. So do your research. If you are looking to purchase a home in the near future, start doing some research. Start meeting with agents, and don't just meet at showings. Meet with agents and ask them, what's your process? What's buyer agency? What's your team process? What does your team look like? For us, we have a full staff. We have a full team. So if you work with one of our buyer's agents, you have someone that is completely dedicated to helping you find a property, and that's their area of expertise, is negotiating and finding you homes, and maybe finding you homes that aren't yet on the market, making sure that you're up to date with everything that's coming on the market, educating you on strategy and what's going to be the best for you, and making sure that you have everything prepared in order to go into this crazy market as a buyer. And those are our buyer's agents. And then from there, we also have transaction coordinators. So our buyer's agents are not doing all of these different things. They're doing one thing that's very specific to you so that they can really work in their strengths. And then our transaction coordinator is extremely organized and dedicated to making sure we have all of our ducks in a row. We have everything all planned out for you. And so literally you can enjoy this ride and you can be happy at the end of the day and hopefully have a really positive experience because you did do your homework and you do have a great team working on your behalf. And those are some good questions to ask too. Like, is your agent an independent agent? Do they have support staff? What does their process look like? What do their systems look like? Things like that. Just getting curious and asking them what that experience looks like and talking to a couple of people until you find someone that really you feel is a good fit for you. So I hope that this helps you. We talk with so many people on a daily basis looking to purchase homes in the area. If you have any questions, whether you're in our market or not in our market, I'm more than happy to answer them for you. So feel free, you can privately message us, you can put some notes in the comments below, and I'm happy to respond back to you and answer any questions that you might have. But in terms of buyer agency, there's nothing to be scared of. There's nothing to be scared of. It's a win-win for you as a consumer. And so I highly recommend that if you are looking for a home, you look for a buyer's agent, you commit to a buyer's agent. And again, I hope that you have the best experience ever, regardless of whether it's with our team or someone else's team. It's a quick market out there for buyers. And so, but it's a good market. It's a great market. It's a great time. The economy is incredibly strong right now. Our rates are still great. They're going up, but our rates are still good. So if you're in the market to buy a house and you have any questions about the real estate market that's been so crazy and our economy has been so crazy, we watch that so closely. I could go on and on and on for days. I'm not going to. But if you have any questions or concerns or thoughts, or should I buy now? Should I wait? Should I rent? What's the market going to do? Please shoot me a note because I am happy to give you some insight on what we're seeing in the real estate market right now that will help you plan for your future, financial future, your family's future. We are here to help. So thank you so much for tuning in to this month's episode, all on buyer agency. If you're looking to purchase a home, do your homework. Find yourself a really great buyer's agent. Commit to your buyer's agent. Tell them what you want, what you're looking for, and get curious on what their systems and their processes are. Again, buyer agency is at no cost to you. So it's really a win-win. Hopefully this was helpful. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next month, and happy home buying if you are in the market for a home purchase. So we'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much.